So did you guys know that there are archetypes for the normal classes in Path of War that give them maneuver stuff? The rich are getting richer. My name is Tommy. Welcome to another episode of Min-Maxing for Fun and Profit, where we dive right in to that crazy book of anime madness. Once again, it's another Path of War request coming from old Tiki, the Hidden Blade Rogue into the Umbral Blade Prestige class, or more specifically, a treatise on the powers of the Veiled Moon School, and probably the best thing to do with your Path of War character in terms of action economy. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, do like, do subscribe, do ding that bell. We'll get you more of that sweet content. This episode of Min-Maxing for Fun and Profit, as they usually are, was brought to you in part by the man who requested it, old Tiki's through the Artificer. Thanks for your help, man. Real quick, I did this with Kane. I'll do it with you too. Fist bump. Alright, here we go. The Hidden Blade is a rogue archetype. All you lose out on when you jump into this archetype is the rogue talent at 4th, 8th, 12th, 16th, and 20th. This doesn't even cause the Hidden Blade to be incompatible with other archetypes that alter rogue talents, as long as there's a rogue talent at each of those levels to give up, yeah. Other than that, it functions like the Zealot. That is to say, to refresh maneuvers, they must perform a gambit. To do so, you take a swift action, then you perform what is known as the risk action. Doing so lets you add half your initiation modifier, or level, as a luck bonus on the d20 rolls made to attempt the action. So that's dumb. I'll throw that right here right now. Fate's favored. Let's increase that by 1. Barfs everywhere. And you even get a reward for doing so. For example, one of my favorite gambits here, Coward's Gambit. Spend a swift action and attack a flat-footed opponent or an opponent you're flanking. Oh wait, you're a rogue. You probably are with all of them. Not only are you buffing up your to hit, but if it pans out for you, your allies gain a bonus on damage rolls against that opponent equal to your total initiation modifier for a round. Yeah, it's real dumb, but I kind of like it. This particular maneuver-based character is really good at buffing out its friends, so I think it could actually kind of, fit in a party where it's the only maneuver-based guy, because everybody else is doing better as well. Once you get a BAB of 4, 6 ranks in Knowledge the Planes and Stealth, and be capable of initiating 3rd level maneuvers of the Veiled Moon discipline, and be of any non-good alignment, you can become an Umbral Blade, which gets the super dumb ability Shadow Blade. Whenever the Umbral Blade wields a weapon from the associated weapon groups of the Veiled Moon discipline, so that's light blades, spears, and double weapons. Oh, that's why Onryu was using double weapons. Okay, yeah, I'm with you, Tiki. I get it now. The blade may be changed and altered, resulting in it becoming a blade of ephemeral shadow and writhing smoke. The supernatural Shadow Blade inflicts an additional d6 of cold damage when used. In other aspects, it functions as a traditional weapon, but you get to add your initiation modifier, in our case, intelligence, to the weapon's damage in place of strength, and can always finesse the thing. So yeah, Umbral Blade looks really good on a Magus. It turns out gross. Also, there's a weapon mod that could make a butchering axe be treated as a light weapon, so that's dumb. And also you could then finesse a butchering axe. Welcome to Path of War! As you level up, you're doing cold damage when you hit people on top of, your weapon damage and your sneak attack. Eventually using intelligence in place of constitution for hit points and fort saves. Eventually getting blink at will. Eventually going incorporeal, hide in plain sight. And on top of that, the ability to use the stealth skill to hide as a swift action. That's huge. Normally, stealth is part of a move action. Why you put spring attack on all of your shadow dancers. Because you hit them, you keep moving, you stealth out. Now you don't got to worry about it. You just pop that swift action and poof, off you go. Well, let's take a look at some of these gambits, shall we? They're how we're getting our maneuvers back, so they're pretty important. We already discussed Coward's Gambit. Flanker's Gambit, triggering when the Hidden Blade, you, attacks an opponent adjacent to one of the Hidden Blade's other allies. Again, as a rogue, probably something you're doing a lot. Not only are you getting that buff, you are considered to be flanking until the end of your next turn, even if you're not normally in a position that would allow you to flank. Gross. Also, we're not going to go crazy on the damage on this one, cause it's high, but this archetype does stack with the Knife Master. And since we're probably using a light blade anyway, yeah, I'll commit to it. Stack this one with Knife Master, swing a Shadow Kukri around, do d8s of sneak attack damage. More relevant for how the build will play out later. Acrobatic Gambit's also pretty easy for us to do. Make an acrobatics check to move through a threatened area, get a huge buff, and give yourself and each of your allies a morale bonus equal to your intelligence on the damage roll of the next attack they make against that creature. Whoops, all of your friends are buffed. Of course, your allies must be within 60 feet of you and be able to see you. Most battlefields, you probably got that. Again, the rich get richer, the poor also get richer. Weird, I like it. Stealth Gambit's also a super easy one to do. Make a stealth check to hide, get a giant buff on that stealth check, and you become invisible for a number of rounds equal to int, as if under the effects of invisibility. But I don't think that's my favorite one. I think my favorite one is the Pinhole Gambit. Make a ranged attack against an opponent that is adjacent to one of their other allies. Get a bonus to your armor class. Just real quick, intelligence to armor class, gross, until the start of your next turn. And you've got such a giant luck bonus by throwing like a dagger or something that I'm not even super worried about taking like precise shot on this build because your luck bonus is your precise shot. So free feat. Anyway, it's the last one that really kind of made something shine for me feat-wise on this build, Deadeye Gambit. When you attempt a called shot, you get a giant buff on that roll, and you and each of your allies get temporary hit points equal to your intelligence, lasting until the end of the encounter or until used. Now, Greater Called Shot says you're making called shots anytime you would attack. It does not use an action eventually, which is great. We're a maneuver-based class. A lot of our stuff is standard action, do a thing. Now we can do that thing and target your vitals and kill you. Pretty nice when you're adding d6s of cold damage and d8s of sneak attack. We talked more in depth about how called shots work on our Magus optimization video a long time ago. Follow this card right up here. Old but gold! In any case, those are really the only feats we're super hanging on. Obviously, things like Piranha, Strike, Weapon, Focus, Dodge, Mobility, they look really good on this character, but we're not as worried about the feats as we are our maneuvers, but Combat Expertise, Improved Called Shot, and Greater Called Shot basically gets us where we need to go. Whenever we're making an attack, we can replace that attack with a called shot. Called shots that deal half a creature's hit points, minimum 40, are a debilitating blow. So all you gotta do is go in with like a Kukri, which in fairness we'll need to take a feat to be proficient with, or again, that Drow Razor, also kind of hilarious with like the throwing and returning enchantments to get that sweet AC buff, or like a Blink Back Belt, we get Quick Draw. Throw a weapon, get a buff, get your maneuvers back. Weapon returns to your belt, draw as a free action, and off you go again. That many d8s of damage, plus everything else we're throwing on damage, means we cross that minimum of 40 threshold ludicrously easy. And as if that weren't enough, and I guess it's not, let's talk about our maneuvers. Again, we're not going to hit on each one of them. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. It's real good. But basically, you start with a bunch of broad maneuvers, and as you level up, you get access to the higher level maneuvers, which require you have more lower ones as prereqs, meaning you retrain at given levels to eventually specialize. Half Gone at level 2 for an immediate action. Kinda rough on us, given that we need our swift action, but make an opposed stealth check against the attacker's perception check when you get swung on. If you're successful, you're incorporeal for that attack. This can be attempted to defend against targeted and AoE spells, stealth check in place of reflex save. Yeah, something without a magic weapon come at you, poof, missed wide. Like stealth, is there a wall in your way? Did you not put ranks in disable device? Are you feeling lazy? The Ghost Walk boost at level 3 makes you incorporeal until the beginning of your next turn. Using the ethereal plane, whoop, through the wall you go. As we level up, Warp Worm as a full round action lets you teleport through enemies, emerging from the space between worlds after rearranging their insides. Make a touch attack against a target and can teleport to a target no more than 20 feet from the first, and do the same for a third, and throw down 10d6 points of force damage to everyone affected. If you fail your attack, or after the last target, you appear up to 15 feet from the final target. Or, 10d6 to all the people. Do you like those dimensional feats in Pathfinder? This one doesn't work so well for our build, but when you need it, Eclipsing Moon lets you, as a full attack action, make an attack against a target, then teleport a distance up to your movement speed to a new target to go again. Each attack is made at the target's flat-footed AC, so boom, sneak attack, and we could cold shot if we wanted to. We can do this a number of times, equal to the number of attacks we possess, and we can hit the same guy over and over again. Each attack gets a +2 competence bonus and does an additional 4d4 points of force damage, which again runs right up into that sweet, sweet called shot meta. The negs from multiple called shots are rough, but we're buffing ourselves. We're always targeting flat-footed, and the extra 4d4 might set us over the edge. Or, once we grab Banish to the Beyond, we can push the thing that we're fighting just gently into the astral plane. We'll save 19 plus our intelligence. If the target fails, it's sent to the astral plane for an hour. Basically, this is the magical timeout. If it can't come back, it's stranded and must find its own way home. Or, you killed it. It's a great save or die that beats things that say, this is immune to death effects. Yeah, okay, we're just going to send it bye-bye. If it passes the save, it's gone for a minute. So yeah, these are really powerful. And I guess I need to retcon from the last Path of War video. Rather, not just Path of War classes, but any class that has access to maneuvers. Probably should limit what you're playing back and forth with these guys, because otherwise, the maneuver-based class will just run over top of people. But this build does look really good when you're a min-maxer who's in a party with a bunch of people who might not necessarily know what they are doing. Wow, that class is really good, but it's doing better than me and I'm discouraged now, is oftentimes what we see when someone plays a class like this next to a bunch of core classes, especially with players who are new. TBH, the first time I played my Elf Dragon Disciple, it was with a 3.5 Sword Sage, and I was just blown away by everything this dude was doing. But a class that's really good, that's making the new players also be really good, quickly becomes everyone's best friend. It's kind of like the Bard, except with sneak attack. But that's all I have to say. What do you guys think? Is the Veiled Moon better than the Riven Hourglass? Sneak attack plus called shot equals real good? I think sneak attack plus called shot's pretty good. Yeah. Whoops, there goes my vitals. I died again. Thanks, Path of War player. Use with caution, my friends. Let me know how you're feeling about this in the comments below. Next week, we're going to go from this class, a class that's very powerful, to a class that's basically a meme, but in my opinion is one of the most powerful spellcasters around. By patron request next week, we're going to take a look at the Bard, but not in the traditional way. Let's look at a spell list. We haven't done that in a while. Let's optimize that Bard spell list, shall we? See you next time.